One of the most mysterious and groundbreaking archaeological discoveries of our time is, of course, Göbekli Tepe. This site has completely flipped the script on what we thought we knew about human history, and once you understand what's really going on there, you'll never look at ancient civilizations in the same way again. Now, Göbekli Tepe is an ancient archaeological site in southeastern Turkey near the city of Şanlıurfa. At first glance, it may look like a pile of ruins, but these are no ordinary stones. What you're looking at is a carefully designed complex of massive T-shaped pillars, some weighing up to 60 tons and arranged in circular patterns. And here's the kicker: these structures are over 11,000 years old. That's 7,000 years older than the pyramids of Egypt and even older than Stonehenge. Until the modern discovery of Göbekli Tepe in the 1990s, most scholars and archaeologists believe that human civilization began around 6,000 years ago with farming societies somewhere in places like Sumer. But this site predates those by thousands of years, existing at a time when humans were thought to be simple hunter-gatherers. Now, the site is not just a random site which has been suggested to be around 11 to 12,000 years old. This is based on several scientific-based dating methods and supporting archaeological context. Organic material like charcoal and bones found in the backfill and layers around the site have been radiocarbon dated to around 9,600 to 8,000 BC. Now, these materials were buried alongside the stone structures, giving scientists a reliable time frame for when the site was constructed and used. This is the primary scientific method for dating ancient sites, and it's widely accepted in archaeology. Göbekli Tepe belongs to the Pre-Pottery Neolithic A and B periods. This is a time frame before agriculture, metal tools, or pottery. Despite this, the site shows signs of advanced planning, architecture, and symbolism, which is shocking for what was thought to be a time of simple hunter-gatherers. Then we have the deliberate burial of the site. At some point, the site was intentionally buried under tons of rubble and dirt. Now, this protected the structures and carvings, and the fill material was perfect for carbon dating, helping archaeologists date the time of backfilling, which was still around about 8,000 years BC. And since the burial came after the site was used, the site's construction must have happened even earlier, hence the 11,500 to 12,000 year estimate. We also have tool marks and construction style to take into consideration here. All of the massive stones at Göbekli Tepe, some up to 20 tons, were carved using stone tools, as no metal tools existed at the time. The sheer scale and precision of the construction challenges assumptions about what people were capable of in that era. Despite the lack of agriculture, the builders created monumental architecture, suggesting a complex and organized society. And finally, we have to discuss the global climate event, often referred to as the Younger Dryas. Göbekli Tepe was built right after the Younger Dryas, a major global climate shift around 10,800 to 9,600 years BC. Some researchers believe that Göbekli Tepe may be connected to a kind of civilization reboot, one that followed a catastrophic global event. The idea stems from the theory that earlier, highly advanced civilizations may have been wiped out or dramatically transformed by a major cataclysm at the end of the last ice age. Now, I'll dive much deeper into this in a future video, but here's the basic outline. According to various researchers and independent scientists, survivors of these lost civilizations who managed to endure the aftermath of a global disaster may have carried their technology and their knowledge forward into the next era of humanity. They may have encountered more primitive hunter-gatherer societies and shared their wisdom, their tools, and their understanding of the world. The catalyst for this reset is believed to be the Younger Dryas event, a sudden and severe global climate shift that occurred around 11 to 12,000 years ago. The cause of the Younger Dryas is still debated. Some scientists propose that it was triggered by a series of comet or asteroid impacts, possibly linked to what's known as the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis. Others suggest it could have been the result of a massive solar flare or some other natural catastrophe. Whatever the exact cause is, what most experts agree on is that something devastating happened, an event so severe that it likely caused widespread extinction, intense climate shifts, and a massive loss of life across the planet. Now, here's where Göbekli Tepe becomes especially interesting. This monumental site appears suddenly during what is traditionally viewed as a hunter-gatherer period, a time when people were thought to be nomadic, focused on survival and lacking complex architecture or social structure. Yet somehow, at this moment in history, Göbekli Tepe rises, a vast, intricately built, megalithic complex complete with astronomical alignments, symbolic carvings, and massive stone pillars weighing up to around 20 tons. Where did this level of knowledge come from? How did a supposedly primitive society develop such a deep understanding of astronomy, architecture, and possibly even agriculture, all in what appears to be a very short span of time? The timing is incredibly telling. Göbekli Tepe appears shortly after the Younger Dryas climate event. This timing leads many to believe that the site may have been built or at least inspired by survivors of a previous more advanced civilization. These survivors may have brought with them knowledge of building techniques, cosmology, and sacred traditions, which were then integrated into emerging cultures across the globe. And in the case of Göbekli Tepe, perhaps it was their legacy. Again, the Younger Dryas impact theory, along with the idea of a long-lost advanced civilization, is a fascinating topic in itself, and I'll be exploring that in much more detail in future videos. So make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for that. So why is this so significant? Before the discovery of Göbekli Tepe, experts thought monumental structures came after agriculture and settled civilizations. Göbekli Tepe flips that script completely. It suggests a religious or ceremonial center may have come first, and farming followed to support them. The truth is, we just don't know. People believe Göbekli Tepe is nearly 12,000 years old because radiocarbon dating places its construction around that time frame. It was built during the Pre-Pottery Neolithic, well before cities or written language. These structures were buried deliberately, helping preserve and date the site. Its complexity suggests unknown levels of social and spiritual organization at that time. So how did people supposedly without agriculture, cities, or even metal tools create something this advanced? And let's talk about the stones, for example. These massive pillars range from 10 to 20 feet tall and weigh between 20 and 50 tons. Think about that. Moving stone this size is a serious engineering challenge even today. So ask yourself, how did people 11,000 years ago cut, move, and precisely place multi-ton stones without cranes, pulleys, or wheels? Some researchers argue that this suggests lost knowledge or a level of organization and skill we simply didn't think existed at the time. And now take a close look at the carvings on these stones. These are the detailed images of animals like foxes, snakes, boars, and vultures. Some even show stylized human figures and symbols we still don't fully understand. These aren't just decorations. Many believe these symbols may have spiritual or astronomical meanings, pointing to a complex belief system or even early religious practice. Some archaeologists and independent researchers have noted that parts of Göbekli Tepe appear to be aligned with celestial events like these solstices and certain constellations. If that's true, it means the builders not only had the ability to move enormous stones, but also a surprising deep knowledge of astronomy. And here's one of the strangest parts, that the entire site was intentionally buried. At some point in the distant past, the people who built Göbekli Tepe deliberately covered it with tons of earth, stone, and debris. Why? Was it to preserve it? Was it to protect it from invaders? Or did they simply abandon it and forget it ever existed? No one really knows for sure. What we see today is the tip of the iceberg. Ground-penetrating radar shows that what's been unearthed so far is only about 5% of the total site. That means there could be hundreds of more megalithic pillars still buried beneath the surface waiting to be discovered. Some have even speculated that what lies beneath could change everything we know about the origins of civilization. But you'd think a discovery this significant would be front-page news, right? But Göbekli Tepe doesn't get the attention that it actually deserves. In fact, recent reports suggest that excavation efforts have slowed down or even stopped altogether. Some blame politics, others think there's a deliberate effort to downplay the site's importance because it contradicts mainstream narratives. Whether it was an ancient temple or ritual center or something else entirely, it's irrelevant. Göbekli Tepe forces us to confront a big question. What else have we missed? Are there more sites like this waiting to be discovered? Could there have been a forgotten chapter in human history, one involving advanced knowledge and organization that we simply haven't acknowledged yet? One thing's for sure, Göbekli Tepe is not just a collection of old rocks, it's a puzzle, a monument to something we don't fully understand. And the more we learn, the more it challenges the conventional story of who we are, where we came from, and what we're actually capable of. If you found this interesting, hit that like button and subscribe for more interesting content about this mysterious old world where it feels like part of our human history just doesn't quite make sense. And don't forget to let me know in the comments down below what you think of today's video.